Hello, welcome to Simple Shop Creations. And in this video here, I'm going to go through how to install sliding drawers into cabinets. And in this particular video, I will be installing only 4 sliding drawers in 2 separate cabinets. I do have a total of 5 cabinets that I need to do, but this particular video will be just demonstrating how to install 2 sliding drawers in each cabinet. Here you can see I'm just using a simple 4-volt Wen drill to take off the drawers, and then once I'm done with that, I will proceed to go take the center support down, which you'll see here shortly. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to happen, my wife went out, she got a quote for doing all 5 cabinets, and I'm not going to tell you how expensive it was, but it was quite expensive. After I'm done with these 2 videos of installing this set of drawers and then the next set of drawers in 3 cabinets in another video, I will let you know how much money a professional company wanted to install the drawers for. It was quite shocking. But here in a minute, you can see we're going to switch over to me cutting that center support out. And so here we are. I'm going to get out a pole saw, and then I'm going to cut the top piece first. But first I'm going to tape it up, and that'll help prevent for chipping. But in my case, it didn't work. It's still chipped. But since I will be painting these cabinets in a later video, I'm not too concerned about the chipping of the support there, the center support. So you see I'm just going to tape it, and then I'm going to cut the top. And then what's going to happen here is I did another cabinet prior to this, and I'm going to show you what happens if you just pull the bottom support out after you cut the top, which will be here shortly. Okay, so here you see me cutting the other cabinet using the same pole saw. I taped the center support there, and now I'm cutting the top. But here in a minute or two, or a little less than a minute or two, you'll see what I'll do next. However, I did make a video on how I painted this cabinet using regular Valspar paint you get at the Lowe's or the Blue Box store. This wasn't cabinet paint I just used regular paint that you put on your walls of your house, and it's been holding up pretty good. So here you can see I'm going to finish this up, and then I will go and pull the bottom out, and you'll see what happens to it here in a second. So here we're going to get ready for it. You can see it broke there. So now I'm going to cut that piece, and then I'm going to yank it again, and you can see it popped right out. So all that's glued in there. So all I did, I just puzzled back the pieces together and glued it all up. I cut the tongue out of the bottom of that support, stuck it back in there, glued it all up, and made it flush. And then all you have to do is just paint it over, and the marks will be gone, or you won't even know it was ripped like that. But let's go back to the other video where I finished cutting the bottom of the support there. So here I'm using my pole saw again to cut the shelves. It's a little tedious there. You can probably mark up the side there, but it's a cabinet. Who really cares? We get little slices in there and stuff like that. The drawers and all your items that you put in the cabinet will cover that up. There's no big deal here. So here we're just going to go ahead and keep on cutting, and then smack it and it'll eventually come right out. So here I'm just going to pop out the remaining part of the shell. That groove's approximately like 1/8 of an inch deep. Now what's left off or what's left over from the shelves are the staples that were holding the shelf in. There was no glue on the shelf. So I'm just going to take a screwdriver and just press it all back. Press this, the staples back. And then I'm going to go ahead and vacuum the cabinet. And then after that, I'm going to switch over my audio to the cell phone I'm using to film me installing all this stuff here, because then I'm going to go over the slides that I'm using and the shelf supports. I will have a link to the shelf supports I'm using. Is by Quick Tray. I think you have to look up quickdraws.com or something like that, and you can see the product, or you can purchase the product from them. But they are adjustable shelf supports that you can get from them, or you can get it from Rockler, depending on when you get them. They cost anywhere from $27 to $35. So with that, here in a second, I'm gonna switch over to my audio, and you can see me talk about the slides and the shelf supports. So here I have two sizes of undermount or Euro style poles. 22 inch, as you can see, would be too long because this is going to be too wide. It's going to back you further. So you have to go 20 inch in this particular cabinet and make the rest of these cabinets. They're all going to be the same width and same everything else. So I have to go with 20 inch and not use the 22 inch sliders. So I have two of those from your local orange or blue box store, like $9 for each. And then I bought these to make it easier because they're adjustable and all that, and they come with all the components that you need to put these in. So let's go. Let's open this up here. These are Quick Tray. I didn't get them from that website. I got them actually from Rockler. So that's the manufacturer, and this company here, you know, sells them and also sells complete door drawers and everything else if you want to do it that way. But we're not going to do that. So it comes with your screws to mount in. Let's see where we're at. All right. These are the clips that you get mounted to the rails, and then they get put into these slots here. These are longer, about 1/4 inch. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use the shorter ones right here, and they're not as long. And these are 1.25 inches. They sell 3 sizes, and they sell multiple colors. But where I got them, only had white and beige or tan, whatever you call it. So they sell white, black, this tan. 3, I guess 3 colors. Might be another one, but. And they also sell this in a different thickness. You can get a 1 inch. This is 1.25 inches or 2 inch. Basically, we're just gonna put them up here, but we have to move this, offset this back about 1/2 inch, because the draw face is gonna come flush pretty much with the back of the face here. So we have to get a little small 1/2 inch spacer here, and then we just butt that up. We'll do that on each side, and we use these little screws, and Then we'll put the ones in the back. But before we put them in the back, we're gonna attach the slides to these little small nubs, whatever you want to call them. So let me go get my spacer, and then we'll put these in. Before we go, so you can screw them in here, these circle holes, or you can put them in these holes. All right, so now we're gonna install one of the shelf supports. Actually, we're gonna install two of them. The two in the front first. So here I got my 1/2-inch spacer, probably a little wider than a 1/2 inch, but approximately 1/2 inch spacer. And then you see I'm using the screws that came with the shelf supports. And I'm gonna go ahead and screw them into the tab. So it's gonna be 5 screws will need to be put on the shelf support. If you use the circle ones, you only need 4, but I decided to use the tabs, and so you need 5 screws. So that's going to be done on the 2 fronts, and then after that we will need to attach the draw slides to those hooks. Then we can install the back shelf supports, and then after that's done, we can build the drawers. All right, so let's continue on with installing this, because after I install the 2 front, then I'm going to move up and transition into putting the drawer slides together with those hooks. So now we are going to assemble the drawer slides with those hooks that will be inserted into our shelf supports. Now, the undermount slides that I have here, if you never built drawers before, these are the most forgiving ones that you can start out with. These are only a 3/4 extension, so they don't fully come out, but they're very simple to use, very simple to install. You don't have to be as accurate when it comes to your drawer width as you're going to use side mount drawer slides. So these are very forgiving, very easy to install. Now here you can see I'm going to be fumbling with those hooks there. They don't seem to be machined too well. The screw, sometimes a pain in the butt to get in. You'll see eventually I'm going to get some pliers and use my screwdriver there to hold it in, because it seems like it's cross-threading. But if you look at the screws, which you won't see, they do have a I guess a blue Loctite already on them, so they stay in tight. So when you install these, they'll fall out until you put the drawer in. Once you get the drawers in, then they won't fall out, because the pressure will keep those locked in. And the beauty part about these shelf supports is you can adjust your shelf over a period of time. You might get bigger pots, a little smaller pots. You might want to add a third drawer in. With these adjustable shelf styles or supports, you can do that. I'm going to speed this up here so we can get through this, and you can see me fumble through all this attaching those nubs or hooks to them. So here in a few seconds, we're going to go ahead and transition back down to the cabinet. And now we're going to put in the rear shelf supports. You'll see here that I'm going to be using slides to get the distance between the front and back by hooking them into the shelf supports. And you'll see it'll fold down, and I'll fumble around again with all the stuff until I put the drill up against it to keep it up against the cabinet. And then again, I'm going to be using the tabs to support or to screw in the shelf supports and not the circle holes in the middle of the shelf supports. So it'll be 5 more screws. And then once I get that side done, I'm going to be moving over to the other side and do the same thing. And then after this, we're going to go into building the drawers. But before we go there, don't forget to check the description below for the links for those shelf supports that I pictured prior in the video. Also, don't forget to view the second video when it comes out, because there I will let you know how much it cost, or how much a professional installer was going to do to install these drawers and shelves and all that stuff that I'm doing here. So don't forget to check back in a few weeks and I'll have number 2 up, and then you can actually see the price. Also, this is like a complete kitchen remodel here. I'm going to be painting the cabinets too, so look forward for seeing how I'm going to paint those cabinets. And this time I won't be using regular wall paint as I did on that other video I did. I'll be using actual cabinet grade or high grade paint that is normally used for painting cabinets. So that should be fun. So that'll be something to look forward to in the near future. Notice a mistake. Yeah, you saw that arrow there. So basically what happened was on the drawer slide, I put the screw for the front of the drawer slide, I put the screw 2 further back, which in turn moved the drawer slide forward towards the front of the cabinet. So if I would close the cabinet, if I left it like that, the drawer that I would build would smack the cabinet door. So what I had to do is I had to remove that hook and move the screw further to the front of the drawer slide, which in turn pushed the drawer slide further back into the cabinet. And you just pay attention to it, you'll see that it goes further back. And then I have to readjust the back slide, the back drawer support, and re-drill the holes, and everything is honky-dory after that. Some of you might be wondering, am I going to put any type of support since I've removed that center support of the face frame when I took off the drawers? The answer is no. The cabinet opening is 27 inches, and I'm assuming that the total width of the cabinet outside inside is approximately 30 inches. And these are individual cabinets. It's not one big cabinet. Because you can see that in the beginning there when I'm removing the drawers, you can see the line and how they butt up. So I'm not too concerned about getting a smiley face. Some people I mentioned. So I'm not going to put any supports in there because it's not that wide of a gap. If that was 36 or 40 or 4 feet, then yeah, I probably would put a support underneath there, underneath the drawers, so hopefully the granite won't push the middle down. But in this case here, the granite's basically being held up by the 4 corners of the cabinets, so I'm good here. I'm not going to put any support in for these cabinets, so everything will be fine. Coming up here in a second too, you're going to see a complete finish shot of the 2 shelf supports, and then I'm going to take a measurement of the shelf width or the drawer width, which should be approximately, well, right there, that's under 27 inches, because remember I got 1.25 inches on each side of the cabinet, and then I measure in between there, so I think that's approximately 26 3/8 width from end to end of the shelf support, or the drawer slide support. So minus an inch, half an inch from each side. So it gives you approximately 25 3/8 of an inch should be the bottom of the drawer. Now here I'm double checking the top, and it should be the same, which it is. So then after this, we're going to go in and we're going to start to build the drawers. Hi, so I fibbed. We're going to go ahead and stop the video at this point, and then in the next video I'm going to go ahead and show you how I build the drawers for those 2 cabinets. And then after that video is complete, I'm going to do one more video where I'm going to build different types of drawers that can handle certain types of pots and pans and cutting boards, whatever. So they're not going to be built the same way as the 4 that I'm making here. So with that, everybody have a happy and healthy day, and we'll see you in the next video for this series.